Welcome, welcome, welcome. A very big Bruins game once again tonight. A big bounce back needed. A lot of changes here to the Bruins as well. A lot of unexpected ones, to be honest with you. And I'm going to cover those here in the stream once again as same I did on Monday. It's the same type of stream as well, just before the game starts. And then likely a game after, or a video after, depending on what we have to offer here. Last one was definitely an interesting one. Definitely an interesting game. I put in the video yesterday, but it's a new day, new game needed, and we need a big win out of this one here. Okay, everything should be good once again. Only the second stream, so making a few things messed up here, but I think we should be good for the most part. All right, let's take a little look ahead at what we have here today. The Bruins made some nice changes. Some interesting ones here. Mason Lohrei slotting into the lineup next to Charlie McAvoy. Matt Grzelcyk is expected to be a scratch for this game, while Parker Wotherspoon will replace Andrew Peeke on Boston's third pairing, as he will be out week to week from what we know right now. Peake's definitely a huge loss here for this team. You know, he's been the addition they were looking for at the deadline. Another solid depth pairing defenseman comes into this lineup after playing 82 games in back-to-back seasons for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and really just sucks to see him injured here. How's it going, Felix? How are you? How's it going today? You ready for the game? It's going to be a very good one. Fluter Shinzawa tweets out, looks like James Van Riemsdyk, Mason Lohrei, and Parker Wotherspoon are in. Jacob Lauko, Matt Grzelcyk are out, and Peeke is unavailable once again. So, James Van Riemsdyk slotting into his first game for the Bruins playoffs this year. Jacob Lauko comes out. One I was questioning a bit. You know, I liked Lauko's game. These past two games, he was... I'm blurry. How's it going, Bruins fan 2011? Lauko was pretty good. You know, he drew a few penalties, blocked a few shots, was good in... let me fix this blurriness. Hold on. Yeah, okay, that won't fix, but let's give it a minute. Bruins got to lock it in. I agree, Bruins fan. This is going to be a really telltale game about how they're going to work for the rest of this series, you know? It's going to be a big game. They're going to have to go through a lot of stuff here, but for those who are just tuning in, I will show you guys this again. James Van Riemsdyk, Mason Lohrei, and Parker Wotherspoon are in. Lauko is out in exchange for James Van Riemsdyk. Matt Grzelcyk is out for Mason Lohrei, and Parker Wotherspoon is slotting in for Andrew Peeke. So, some pretty big changes here. The Bruins kind of decided to change things up a bit, go for a bit more of an offensive lineup, hoping that James Van Riemsdyk would bring some more offense here. Mason Lohrei as well, and Parker Wotherspoon is just going to be a straight replacement for what we at least know for Andrew Peeke. It's going to be a pretty interesting game. It's going to be, you know, like you said, Bruins fan, the Bruins got to lock it in. This is going to be a really important game for them going into Game 3 and then Game 4 in Toronto, especially with the extra day in Toronto. So it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a really, really big game. I'm going to see if we have... I'm going to do the same thing as I did in the last stream for those who weren't here. You know, get some updates on Twitter as we're streaming, because the lineup has sort of been revealed. We don't know just about everything yet, but we're going to have a few updates here, I'm going to guess. William Nylander is another one that I'm going to talk about here in a bit. He is likely going to be out. We still don't know if he's going to be, however. It's seeming like he is. And seems like he could be out, but we're still not sure. Bit unsure about Lohrei. He's a bit green when it comes to playoffs, but I like the changes. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good telltale sign and see what's happening here for this team, you know, especially Lohrei. It's going to be nice to see him in a playoff atmosphere. Hopefully he'll be able to keep up and, you know, not seeming cold, I guess, or missing out on the games that he missed. But any updates on Peeke? Not right now. I think we're still seeing a week to week. Now, he didn't skate this morning, but he might be skating soon. I don't really know, but in practice, that would be a pretty big thing if he could if he could come into practice here and hopefully be, day to day rather than week to week. Because week to week will definitely suck for Andrew Peeke. He's a huge loss for this team. Yeah, so again, for those who are just joining, I'll be streaming for about 40 minutes here, I guess, up until the start of the game, just kind of keeping some updates, a few analysis, seeing what you guys think about this game, what the Bruins need to do, what they should do going into this game, because we're going to take a look at last game as well here in a bit, but last game was definitely one where the Maple Leafs adapted to the Bruins game. Seemed like they wanted it more, the few of the goals that went in wasn't great on the Bruins' defensive side of things. Ullmark still played great, but it is Jeremy Swayman's crease today. It's going to be a very big game for him once again to see if he can continue keeping this go up 5-0 on the Maple Leafs this season. And really, this is going to be I think, a telltale sign about what happens for the goalies for the rest of this series. Whether it's going to be going back to Ullmark, keeping it Swayman, going with the rotation. And I probably will pull up a tweet later from Ty Anderson. He was talking about this, and he had an article kind of discussing what the plan will be if that does end up happening, if Swayman wins or whatnot. But I'm going to cover kind of the bit of chapters here too, from what I did in yesterday's video about last game. But I'll pull up the chapter. This is the same one from the chapter. I just haven't changed it. The real reasons the Bruins lost in Game 2, and I'll kind of discuss this a bit here before we go over some changes again a bit. The Bruins just didn't really feel like they had all that energy. They didn't have that sense of urgency, as Jim Montgomery said, of what they should have going into this point in the playoffs, going into being up or trying to take a 2-0 lead, which would have been huge going back to Toronto, because we know that Toronto fans definitely are hard on their own players. Any mistakes we've seen lately, Mitch Marner has been absolutely getting torn apart. He's been getting shredded by Leafs fans, and that's definitely not helping in his team. So if we could have gone up 2-0, that would have been great, but the Maple Leafs really took it in their own hands, acknowledged that they were in trouble if they lost this game, and are taking it back home. So it's going to be a tough game for the Bruins here, especially in Toronto. Going to be kind of the same atmosphere as in TD Gardens, but just have the roles reversed. I'll pull up this Montgomery, the quote he had about the urgency, because I still have this here as well. He said, "I didn't think the urgency was where it needed to be. Now, in fairness, he was answering the question in accordance with the manner in which it was posed. The questioner did ask about urgency. It's not like Montgomery walked into the room carrying lack of urgency under each arm, but no matter, he was asked, he answered, and two things about that. Montgomery happens to be in the right about the lack of urgency, vague though the term may be, and it's the Bruins' best interest that they make that a big deal about opening series shifts into Toronto for this game here tonight. It's going to be really, I'd say, the biggest point of contention, as well as containing Matthews. We've seen that goal Matthews scored. That really pissed me off. I won't lie. It was a very nice goal, but the defense from Charlie McAvoy, that was a big problem that I thought about here in that game. Let's see. Any updates on William Nylander? I will check that for here now, too, just to make sure. Last I checked, he was very unlikely. Wayne Stock, go Bruins, but tonight will be rough. I agree. It's going to be a really tough game for the Bruins here tonight. I expect that the Maple Leafs are going to come out hard here tonight. And I'm going to say this is going to be the best the Maple Leafs have looked to start this game, especially at home. We got to win this game. We absolutely do. This is going to be a must-win. You really don't want to go down 2-1 to the Maple Leafs, especially while they have Game 4 at home. That could lead the Bruins to be in real trouble. Really, really big trouble. Yeah, so the last update I'm seeing here, of actual credibility, is Mark Masters saying he looks like he will miss Game 3. But then, that was 7 hours ago, so there is still a few more things from not Sheldon Keefe, sorry, Chris Johnson, the score. There's no actual answer from what we're seeing right now, but I did see something today saying that it was a head injury, which, if that is the case, don't really know how long he could be out. It could be a long time. Will this be physical like Game 1? I think it's really going to depend on how this game starts. I think it should be. I think the Bruins have definitely seem to take control of the physicality in Game 1, and that really led to the win. Last game, it seemed like the Maple Leafs matched it. They lost that game, but it does seem like it's going to be a physical game, not I wouldn't say it's physical as game one, but if it starts out physical, it's going to continue. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say here. Migraine issues, that could be the case. And the injury, if it's an upper body, I'm pretty sure is like what it seems to be. I don't know if it is an upper body, but if it is, that will make a lot of sense to why. Because there's videos of him skating at practice. He looks fine. He definitely looks fine. He's skating well, so it could be something along with the arm, upper body, with the puck, can't control the puck well or whatnot. But either way, it's bad enough to keep him out of the lineup, which sucks for the Leafs, but it's good for the Bruins the time that is happening. Boston's going to win it. I hope, Sebastian. I hope. I really do. Seen something that said that he had the lights in the arena hurt his head, so that's why his visor is tinted. If that's like actual like the reason he has a tinted visor, that would be very interesting because he apparently it happened in Game 82. He probably shouldn't have played in Game 82. A lot of Leafs fans I've seen have said that. So if it is something like that, that would really suck. I think Grizz is back. Grizz is supposed to be out here this game, I believe, Wayne. I have the changes here about in this one. Looks like James Van Riemsdyk, Mason Lohrei, and Parker Wotherspoon are in. Jacob Lauko, Matt Grzelcyk is out, and Andrew Peeke is unavailable. Big Rig and Revo win. That would be a pretty cool sight to see. I don't know, however, if that will happen. I really think that they're gonna try and keep it calm. I think Montgomery, that's the plan, is because I feel like Pat Maroon has more importance to the Bruins than Ryan Reaves does. But if we do see a fight, I'm down. That's it's gonna be a good momentum swinging fight if it does occur. I would also like to see the Leafs lose in Toronto, Sebastian. That would be a good thing for the Bruins if they can win on the road. Same way that the Leafs have the momentum here now after they won in Boston. That would be a really big win. And so I honestly think the Bruins need to win this game. Who's in net for Boston? Jeremy Swayman, I believe. I believe it's Jeremy Swayman from what we've seen. I haven't seen any official, but from like every source that covers the Bruins, it's seeming like it will be Jeremy Swayman. I don't think the Leafs have posted their lines on Twitter or anything. Or, sorry, the Bruins. I love a look for you, though. But yeah, it is Jeremy Swayman. That is confirmed. Yeah, no line changes, but... Or lineup posted, sorry. There are... I'll just post this up again for those who are new into the stream. James Van Riemsdyk, Mason Lohrei, and Parker Wotherspoon are in. 3 brand new additions to the lineup, making their playoff day... I should say the 2024 playoff debuts here. James Van Riemsdyk, Mason Lohrei, and Parker Wotherspoon. And Lauko, Grzelcyk, and Peeke are out. It's an okay change. I'm not complaining. Grzelcyk, I think it could have been either Grzelcyk or Shattenkirk. Peeke, the injury definitely does suck. But Lauko was one, I mentioned it earlier here too. But Lauko is one that he's been playing well. His name was a lot in trade rumors and a lot of rumors about not playing in the playoffs and being benched for whether Justin Brazeau comes back or Pat Maroon when he got in here. But he's been playing well. So it's going to be interesting to see if you could see that, the gap of where Lauko was. Felix, I like that Lauko was out. I don't hate it. I shouldn't say I don't like it, but I don't hate it. It's just one that you're catching Lauko on a few hot games now, so I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference. Game 3 and 4 are very important time to go. Absolutely. These are the games here in Toronto too, where it's going to be a big one. If I'm not mistaken, we have a decent road record this season. I do believe, I don't know exactly what it is off the top of my head. I can probably see, actually, it'll be easier to see on my phone. I'll be able to have a look here and see what it is, I believe, on the Score app. But the Bruins record is good anyways, so I'll see if I can figure out what it is here. There's no really easy way. Let's stat news and see. I do apologize if this is really loud. The mic is right next to my keyboard. 23-9-9 on the road this season. Not bad, but it's also the Leafs as well. So, and it's the playoffs. It's going to be a whole new competitive, a whole layer of competitive, a whole new game. But it's going to be fun. Panthers and Boston round 2 for the Atlantic Division. That would be sick. Another matchup from last year. I definitely like the idea of that if that does come to fruition. Once again, though, another very tough matchup. The Panthers have been very good in these playoffs, and I only think that's going to continue to grow. Major update here tonight. No Nylander. No Nylander tonight from Elliot Friedman. I will post. I know I'm probably frozen right now. Don't mind that. Let me put this screenshot up here on the right here. I will leave this here for now, just for a little bit, for those who are funneling in. Who in this chat's ever watched a game at the Garden? I unfortunately have not. I've actually never watched an NHL game in an arena. I don't know why, don't know how, but I would love to. I do as well, Felix. Well, not too far away, but just a bit of a challenge to get down to Boston. But, yeah, Willie Nylander out. Major thing. Jeremy Swayman leading the Bruins onto the ice for warm-up, so that is, again, official here now. But no Nylander. This is a really, really huge thing again. It didn't matter for the Maple Leafs last game, but the Bruins are definitely going to need to take advantage of this here tonight. The offense is still going to be there. It's definitely a huge loss for the Maple Leafs, but we need to see it. We really, really need to see the Bruins start to take advantage of this. Not on the ice for warm-ups and will not play in this game. Okay. Very, very big. Very, very big things coming here. Okay. Yeah, so I will touch on, once again, I'll pull these up here. I will... I'll leave that up there. Looks like James Van Riemsdyk, Lowry, and Parker Wotherspoon are here in this game tonight. The Bruins kind of going for a more offensive lineup, I guess you could say, more offensive talent in or experience as well in James Van Riemsdyk, Mason Lowry, pairing up with Charlie McAvoy in that first line. One thing I want to mention, McAvoy, I really do think he needs to tighten up that defense. That goal that Matthews scored went right over his head. I don't really know what he was trying to do on that play. I guess trying to knock the puck out of the air with a stick, but if it was up to me, wouldn't be the play I would make. Once again, it's not why I'm in the NHL either, so. Oh, the old Boston Garden. No, I haven't. Yeah, okay. So, no Lauko or Grzelcyk for warm-up. Swayman leads the Bruins out. No Nylander for the Maple Leafs. That is pretty much the story here of this game so far. Now, the game hasn't started, but that's some big stuff. You're gonna be some nice changes to see here for this team, for the Bruins. In the warm-up video the Bruins have posted on Twitter, I see a few Bruins fans there, so at least it's not going to be swamped with Leafs fans. A nice bit of yellow. Good representation of yellow in the stands. Love to see that. Alright, okay. I want everybody here to drop a game prediction, score prediction in the chat. It's going to be an interesting one. And I'll think of one as well. The Bruins look ready, I'll say that. I'm not in Boston. I'm in Newfoundland in Canada. So I'm not too far, but I'm pretty close. I've only watched an SHL game here. That's cool. That is sick. I love to watch it. I like European hockey. I really do. Like their professional leagues, as well as just like their teams that feature in the World Juniors, World Championship, Olympics, whatnot. I like their style of hockey. I really do. It's very different from North American style of hockey. Never actually watched like a full SHL, EHL, all those, like the Liga. I've never watched a full game of those. 4-2 Boston or 3-1 Boston. I like that. You know, I think 5-4 Boston. I don't hate that. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be an off Samsonov game. I don't know why. I'm feeling the game where Samsonov's not gonna play his best. I might go 5-3 Boston. I might. The team looks ready in the warm-ups, I'll say that. In the videos I just seen. I'm gonna say 5-3 Boston. As long as they do shut down that top line for the Leafs. Or not, I wouldn't even say the top line. The Matthews and even their bottom lines. Like, their bottom lines played really good last game. I'm gonna pull up the Leafs box score from last game here. And you can see Matthews was really the one that was, the killer for the Bruins here as well. Samsonov was an on game. How's it going, Uncle H? Good evening. Good evening. We ready for the game? Yeah, but Samsonov is going to be, I think, the matter of winning or losing for the Maple Leafs here in this game. I think it'll be a close game. I would say 2-1 Boston. I can see that as well, Felix. I really think it's either going to be Leafs will lose with pressure. Exactly, Sebastian. I think it's going to be, for a matter of what you guys say, it's going to be a close game. I feel like it could be a lot of a back and forth, whether there's pressure generated by either team in the offense. I would rather Swayman over Samsonov for those, but Maroon lining up Matthews tonight. I mean, if it comes down to it, hey, I'm not complaining. As long as it's clean. Boston has to play shutdown all night. Absolutely. They can't afford to do what they did last game against the Maple Leafs. Let the Maple Leafs control a lot of control their game in the Bruins defensive zone. That's what I'm trying to say. But that's what's really killed them last game. We've seen Allmark make a few saves in pressure last game, and that was a big thing that they did. I think they solved Swayman, but he outperformed Samsonov. That's one thing I've been worrying about Alexander, is if they're really going to figure out Swayman. Because they haven't so far this season, and they've played him for 4 games, and he's won all 4, and he's been very, very good in all 4 of those games. But eventually you have enough footage of him against your own team to be able to see what he's going to do with certain scenarios, certain players, and whatnot. Boston's a better team. They can play. They can win if they play good. Yeah, they will. If they can play better than the Maple Leafs, they will. Well, I mean, that's the way hockey works. If you play better than the other team, you will win. But they really need to just play better as a team. That's the what I'm trying to get at, is if they can play better as a team, work together, in the defensive and offensive zone, using offense and defense in both ends of the ice, I think it'll be a very good game. What do you think the Bruins need to do to win this game? It's really going to be shut them down. They can't let the Maple Leafs develop pressure. The Maple Leafs, I wouldn't say, are the biggest rush offense team, like an Edmonton Oilers style team. So if you don't let them set up in our own defensive end, I think that we can shut them down. We can get the puck out and go on a transition, because we have really quick players, really skilled players, and good shot from just about everybody on this team. So if we can run something like that, I dig it. I really do dig it. Pastrnak, DeBrusk for goals tonight. DeBrusk has been very, very good for the Bruins this playoffs, and I think he will be a big part of this. This is the box score from last game, too, and I'll pull this up here. This is last game. I want to make sure. DeBrusk still had an assist last game, even though they didn't get the win, but he did have 2 goals and 1 assist in game 1. So if DeBrusk can stay playoff DeBrusk, we're gonna be in for a good game. Boston's an awesome force to reckon with. They're a very good hockey team. Other teams can't handle the sheer talent and awesome force of the Bruins. I mean, yeah, pretty much. The Bruins are a really good team. They're definitely in that transition year where a lot of people counted them out, especially with the loss of Bergeron and Krejci. But still, I think this team is against all odds right now, and they know that. They're willing to go out and, be against the crowd, against the media, whatnot, saying this team isn't a playoff team. This is not the Bruins that we know and love. But I'm very excited to see what they're going to pull out here. Need to score early, take the crowd out of the game, and all 4 lines bring their A game. Yeah, that is right, especially in Toronto. The crowd gets sucked. The energy gets sucked out of the crowd here when you score early against the Leafs, and they're a very quiet crowd in a lot of instances, even though it's a Toronto. But the ticket prices are so high there that true fans don't actually get to go to the game. So if you can just take the energy out of the crowd, the Leafs will feel like it's going to be a home game or an away game. Sorry. I'm going to have an extra eye on Javerton. I got a feeling he will score. JVR is going to be an interesting one. They're adding him to get a bit of that offense in. I will pull this up once again for those just tuning in. JVR Mason Lohreit and Parker Wotherspoon are all in for this game, and Jacob Lauko, Matt Grzelcyk are out, with Andrew Peeke being week to week with a blocked shot injury from last game. But yeah, JVR will be definitely something to look at. I believe he's slotting in on the third line. I think they put him in. I don't know if there's any lines posted on Twitter. Yeah, okay, I flew to Shinzawa, put here the lines on Twitter. Do pardon my freezing for a second. Okay, here's the lineup that they're rocking with in the warm-ups. Yeah, JVR, Trent Frederic, and Danton Heinen. I really like that line. Trent Frederic, I feel like, has been playing really good. Even with limited ice time, he's been playing good in these places. He's always the guy in the puck in the corners. He's always going where not really many players want to go. Johnny Beecher, Boquist, Maroon still, Marchand, Coyle. Okay, so that was really the only change there. Lohreit and McAvoy, Lindholm, Carlo, and Wotherspoon, and Shattenkirk with Swayman between the pipes. I like this lineup. I think this is going to be one for a very offensive-heavy game against this Maple Leafs team here today. And this is going to be one where I think the Maple Leafs are going to have to keep up on offense, to be honest with you. I think the Bruins are going to come out here firing. I think they acknowledge that it's going to be risky if they lose this game. It's not going to put them in a good place. And Trent Frederic at center. That's one that is definitely interesting. Definitely, I think it'll work, but it's only a matter of time until we see. That looks like it to me. Yep, Wayne. I mean, to me, it looks fine too. I like what they're seeing here. I like what we're. Any updates on Brazeau, MTV Phil? We not right now. I don't think there's any major updates from what we haven't seen over these past few days. He's skating again in practice. He's moving with the puck and everything. He's not taking line rushes, so he's not just ready yet. But from what we know, he could be in at the end of this series. That's from just what people are saying, that if it's going to be later on, it's either going to be at the end of the series or next series if they make it. First goal will be huge. It will be. Yeah, it's going to be really, really big. It's going to be... I think the Bruins need to make it quick if they want to really suck the energy out of this place, because it will be loud early on. It will be really, really loud to start the game, but when that first goal is scored, and if it's by the Bruins, that place is going to quiet. That place is going to... you're gonna be hearing crickets if the Bruins come out here early. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game to see what they do, especially how the Bruins are gonna come out playing with these different lines and the different defense as well. So yeah, I will be live for probably about 15 more minutes. I did a bit of a shorter one here today just because I'm a bit nervous. I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit nervous for this game, but I wanted to get some updates out here. I knew that the William Nylander thing was going to be a bit weird coming out of here, but either way, it's going to be, I think, a very, very good game regardless. Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier, Alex. Willie has concussion symptoms, so probably won't see him. Yeah, okay, so that is the head injury. That was right. I can't remember who said that earlier, that the lights were hurting his eyes, but that is... Okay, so it is a head injury, what it seems like, for William Nylander, which, that's a really big one. That's a really big injury. You don't know how long those take to heal up. You don't know how long those really last, depending on the severity of it, so that's going to be a big loss for the Bruins. Thoughts on the lineup? I'll play it up again. I do like this lineup, to be honest with you. I think this is more of an offensive lineup from what we've seen. I think Lohreit with McAvoy is a good decision. Wotherspoon, I think he should have played in game 1 and 2. And James Van Riemsdyk is definitely an interesting one with Trent Frederic and Danton Heinen. I feel like that line, could be very, very good. I don't like Toronto. I like Boston to win. My team is the Panthers and Canadiens, but I'll be happy if Boston beats Toronto. Sebastian, I'm seeing a lot of people say that even if you're not a Bruins fan, for most people in the NHL, apart from a scatter few fan bases, the Bruins are going to be the favorites in this one by many fans. Heard it on Spit and Chicklets. Okay, I didn't know where it was, Alex. I seen it on Twitter earlier. I didn't know who it was from, and I couldn't find it. But someone else in the chat here said earlier, too, that was going to be the case. Hoping for a strong showing in the third and fourth lines. Yeah, Uncle H, yeah, that's going to need to be a big part of this game as well. They played really good in the last game. We didn't see much from the top six, I'm going to be honest with you, but the bottom six are going to be a big part of this one. I do like the fourth line. Maroon still is a bit... I'll say questionable for me right now. He's been looking all right, but his importance is on the bench, the leadership in this team. And Jim Montgomery and the team themselves, some of the players have said that his presence on the bench is very, very important to this team's energy, what they're doing on the ice and everything. So, yeah, it's going to be a good game from this bottom six, I think. As well, I mean, the top six as well. I think that we're going to have a big bounce back game here for the Brewer, this game 3. You missed out. It felt like you were in the game. The ice surface was 2 feet short of the NHL rules. I would have loved to see it. Imagine if Boston won by 3 or more goals. That would shut down the guy. That would absolutely, yeah. Scotiabank Arena would be quiet. There would be no noise coming from that place. All you would hear is the music after the Bruins score. That would be it. The crowd there dies out. It gets drained after 1 goal against the Leafs, and always has. The loudest that stadium is during concerts. And, well, I mean, that's probably pretty obvious, but that place is dead for the Leafs if they're losing or if they get scored against. Like, it's even when they score, it's not even that loud. So I think the Bruins fans will definitely be heard. The ones that are in Scotiabank Arena, they will be heard tonight. Hoping for a good game from the guys. I'd like to see Charlie's Coyle score. I would as well. I think that would be a really, really good energy booster. I mean, no matter what, but I think that Coyle and Zacha, those guys have really shown this season that they're a big part of this team, taking the place of Bergeron and Krejci, and you can tell the team likes and revolves around those guys and the roles they've filled. That's definitely one that I think is going to be a big thing if he scores. I'd like to see him score too. I really like Charlie Coyle, always have, no matter what team he was on. It's just a nice player to have around your lineup, a good player to have on the ice and everything like that. For those tuning in again, I will put the lineup here on the left side of the screen. You can see. I'll keep it up here for a few minutes. Some new changes. Lowry in, Wotherspoon in, and James Van Riemsdyk in. Grzelcyk out, Lauko out, and Andrew Peeke out for week to week, from what we heard. Heard at the grapevine that the Leafs are nervous and worried, and that Boston's focused on the task at hand. I think the Leafs are always worried in the playoffs. No matter what roster it is, they always acknowledge, especially against Boston, they acknowledge or recognize the past, I'll say. I'm not going to touch too much on it, but we know what the history is between these two teams in the playoffs. We know that the Bruins always find a way to win. They always manage to take the wind out of the sails for the Leafs, and you can't help but be nervous for them, that team as a whole. All right, Felix, let's have a good game. You know, it's either going to be a video after this game or tomorrow morning, depending on what happens. Because I do want to watch the Oilers game tonight too. That's going to be a very, very good one again. See what those two scout out some Stanley Cup matchups. You know, got to see those. But let's enjoy the game. You know, it's going to be a very, very good one. Hope you're eating something well. Get some snacks going. I also am going to have to do that soon too. So let's rock about 5 to 10 more minutes here, and then we will call the stream for today ahead of this game. But it's pretty much going to be a very, very good one. I'm expecting both teams to come out firing. I'm expecting a much better bounce back game from the Bruins here, and I do want to see this team win this game, and it's almost a must at this point that they do get a win here, especially in going game 3, having game 4 in Toronto again. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up here as well. I wanted to pull this one up. These are the game stats from last game. You know, you can see the penalties really were an issue for Boston that I noticed, especially the too many men. The penalty call, I believe, was on Charlie Coyle. That should not have been a penalty. I want to see that cleaned up just a tiny bit. The blocks were fine, everything like that, but yeah, I don't want to see too many penalties from Boston. I want to see a bit of a smarter, smartened up game, I guess you could say, from not even just a player in specific, but the team as a whole. You got to be smarter on the changes and everything like that. You could definitely feel the tension and the nerves last game, but I'm excited to see this. Have you been watching the other series? What's up with Ovi? I've been watching just about all the series on Quake. I would say the Capitals have been the least I've watched just because they're the earliest games on. But it really just is that the Rangers are an incredible team. It really is. Like, that team is insane. So I don't think Ovi's having the most chances he wants to. The defense is good, but it's been a tough series for them. The Rangers are definitely a tough matchup for the first round. Not sure why the Bees seem to be playing better away. Pass around the smell and salts, boys. Absolutely. The Bruins are going to have to take advantage of this. I think they thrive in an away scenario, being cheered against, but knowing the Boston fans that go on the road, cheer on these teams that are hometown or in the hometown of those teams, they're wild, and they're definitely going to be heard in a full stadium regardless. And knowing they're cheering for the Boston Bruins, I think the Boston Bruins admire that and acknowledge that this team is something that many people want to see. All right, let's see if we got any final updates here. Just before we finish this one off, no Nylander tonight. I'll pull these up again here just for those tuning in. No Nylander tonight. Another big one. Apparently a head injury. Haven't seen exactly sure yet, but we've seen some sources say that it's a head injury, and we really don't know how long Nylander could be out. But once again, I will keep on saying this until Nylander comes back into this lineup, that the Bruins need to take advantage of the lack of offense that this team will have with Nylander. Now, I shouldn't say a lack of offense. I should say the lack of an offensive player in Nylander instead of being such a skilled player, because with Matthews there, that is still an incredibly, incredibly skilled player. So, Nylander out as well. I pull up the lines here from the Bruins tonight. And once again, one final time. James Van Riemsdyk, Mason Lohrei, and Parker Wotherspoon are in. Grzelcyk, Lauko, and Andrew Peeke are out. Peeke out due to an injury and being week to week. The Leafs are not out of the woods, but they've entered the forest. Yeah. And once again, the Leafs could easily win this series. That's one thing I think the Bruins need to acknowledge, that this series is not a win yet at all. This is not a win. They don't have any clearance yet. This is still going to be a very tough series. It's going to be a very tough matchup for however long the series goes. And it's going to be one that they need to focus on at every point they can, every point that they can take control of this Maple Leafs team in the offensive zone, the defensive zone, whatnot. They need to do it. They really need to get on their high horse, make sure they're putting the offensive pressure in and whatnot, and it's just going to be a very, very big matchup to see here ahead of the game, or ahead of the end of the series. Sorry. Okay, what time we got? It's 8:23 Newfoundland time. So I'll call here to quits now in a minute. Just any final updates if we want to discuss that. I'll pull up some images that I got here. This is what we have. Fleury Shinzawa. Like I said, the lineup changes are right here. And these are the ones what we seen earlier today, before we knew what the line was going to be and everything. I'll pull up the Leafs box score that I got here from last game. Tyler Bertuzzi was heavy around that net. That's one thing. Matthews was getting 8 shots. That has to be limited to, I would say, 3. You want Matthews to have maximum 3 shots realistically if you're capable of doing that. And really, really have to get to Samsonov here in this game. He played too good to be Ilya Samsonov last game. We need to get to him quick. Uncle H set the tone. Absolutely. That's what the Bruins need to do. Set the tone. Get the goal early. Get a goal early on Samsonov. Get in on this team. Get in their head. Get in the stadium's heads. The fans' head. Get that stadium quiet and have just the Bruins fans cheering, because that's what we want to see. That's what the Bruins want, especially here being in Toronto. Boston needs to deliver the merchandise and package. Absolutely. The Bruins need to come out here heavy. Very, very heavy. They need to get out here quick and make things go their way very quickly. Bruins hopefully go up 2-1. Yep, they do. They need to go up 2-1 here in this game. We can't afford to go down 2-1 with that next game being in Toronto, because that's really a wish to go home. To be honest with you, that's the wish to go home if that is going to be the case here. But it is now 8:25 Newfoundland time. I honestly, it's like 6:55 Eastern time. We'll be calling it quits here. Going to be heading out to watch the game now. Go get ready for that. Make sure to stick around. I'm going to be posting I'm not streaming throughout the game, but I will be posting a video either after the game or tomorrow morning, like I said, discussing this and then taking a deeper dive into it, as we do have another day to go before the next game. I think we have a 2-day break here heading into Game 4. It's going to be a very stressful few days there, but just before I go here, 81% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. If you want to hit the sub button, make sure to get all the Boston Bruins news as it comes out. I'll be bringing it to you. Yeah, it's you know the deal. Make sure to stick around, get all the Boston Bruins news. But you do look nervous. You look like you're going to lose your breakfast, Christine. I'm telling you, I'm shaken. I really don't want to go down 2-1. We know the pressure that Scotiabank Arena can bring. It's going to be a very tough game, but I'm excited. Time's ticking. Time of the keeper fellas be positive. Absolutely. Let's go Bruins. Let's go Bruins. All right, guys. I appreciate every single one of you guys here. Next game, I likely will be doing another stream. I'm really enjoying these. This is only the second one, but a pregame stream, getting everybody hyped, getting everybody in here with the latest news ahead of the game. It's been really, really fun. So we'll be doing this again likely. Make sure to watch the video I'm going to have for the post game. It might be tonight. It'll likely be tonight. It's only an early game. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate all of you guys being here. We got to make sure the Bruins win here tonight. Put everything you can into this game. Wish for a 10-0 win for the Bruins here. We need it. But, yeah, hit the like button, boys. To Uncle H. Do appreciate that. You got to listen to Uncle H, guys. That's the rules around here. Need to listen to him. Got to hit the like button if we want the Bruins to win. But, no, in all seriousness, guys, I appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching. We'll have a very, very nervous but fun night. So, thank you guys for watching. I'm out. See you later.